You first time learned this word called depression or stress or anxiety just about 25 years ago. Since the time you really grew up, you became successful career people or business people. That's when you started understanding or hearing these words called anxiety, stress, depression. Before that, they were not there. Assure you, keep it in the heart. This session, this talk, the sharing that I'm going to share with you, it has the power to transform your life. Atul started from 6 amazing quote from the star jewels of spirituality of India. But I also assure you along with that, if next 45 minutes that we have together approximately, if you remain here in body, in breath, in thoughts and in emotions, if you don't allow your mind to get scattered for next 45 minutes, it's a promise from my side that something will shift in you, something will transform in you. 45 minutes is a huge time to bring some profound inner transformation, because the matters of transformations are not dependent on the scale of time. It can happen in a moment. So I want you to be totally here. There are 2 kinds of speeches that the world gives. One I call the speech to influence, where the notion or the intention of giving the talk is to influence the minds of the listener. And the other talk comes from a pure, heartful bhav of sharing. Anything that I speak, not just here, in any forum, with any set of people, in person, online, or whatsoever, I have given this commitment to my Guru, Shiva, my Adi Guru, that I will only speak what I know, what I have experienced, that which is in my Anubhava. And I will not speak to influence anybody. I will only speak to share. Share what has been received in this patra, in this ghatam. So I speak from that space, not to influence, but only to share. With that, the thought for today, the topic for today, Maitri. Something profound happened about 2500 years ago. A great sage appeared on earth in India. His name is, and most of us know about this sage. He wrote the Yoga Sutras. You must have guessed, Patanjali. Patanjali wrote 4 key things in his Yoga Sutras, though every Yoga Sutra is profound, but 4 key things he wrote. 4 words actually he wrote. He called these words as the divine states. First, the word was Maitri, which translates into sacred friendship. Second, he wrote Karuna, which is compassion. Third, he wrote is Mudita, joyfulness. And 4, he wrote Upeksha, equanimity. And then something magnificent happened around the same time 2500 years ago. Another great being appeared in Bharat. He was born as Siddhartha, but the world know him as Buddha. And interestingly, Buddha also spoke about these 4 divine states. And he said, Buddha's one of the closest disciple of Buddha was his cousin called Ananda. And Ananda asked Buddha once when Buddha was leaving his body, "Oh Buddha, now you are leaving this body. Will the world ever see you again, Buddha?" And at that time, Buddha said, "Yes, Ananda, the world will see me once again." Ananda said, "When will that happen?" Buddha said, "After 2500 years. Ananda said, "And how will the world recognize you, Buddha?" He said, "I will come as the Maitri Buddha." What's the significance of these two great beings, Buddha and Patanjali, talking about Maitri first? I believe because Buddha knew that 2500 years from now, the world will go through a pandemic, and that pandemic is called loneliness. People will be using each other. They'll not be friends with each other. I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about the depth and the significance of this profound statement, this profound word, Maitri, that Buddha mentioned and also sage Patanjali mentioned in the Yoga Sutras. We tend to believe or feel that Yoga Sutras must be all about asanas and pranayama and dhyana and samadhi and so on. Maitri? Patanjali is talking about Maitri, a being who's represented as half snake because of the Kundalini Shakti and half human. Talking about Maitri? Friendship? What are we talking about? Yes, there is a profound significance of this. You see, look at the human transition. We were living in tribes, communities. We were with each other. We were nurturing, supporting, helping, protecting each other. From these tribes, from these communities, we moved into kulas. You must have heard this word, kul. Kul means a huge, large family. Kula. We started from the communities. We started living like kulas. We were still supported, nurtured, protected by the members of the kula. All age group. From the elders to the youngest ones. From there then moved into joint families. The number further reduced. At the most 15, kulas were big, like 70, 80, 100 people. Tribe was even bigger. And then came joint families. 10, 15 people at the most. We were still protected, nurtured and supported. And then came the era. Nuclear families. Mia, Bivi, Bacha, that's all. We moved to 4 at the best case scenario, or 3 people in the family, husband, wife, child. All right. We were still surviving. And then comes the new era, the new yuga that you and I are living in. Is the era of living alone. You go to Bombay, you go to Delhi, you go to any top metro. And young folks, even old folks, are living alone. From the nuclear, we've come to nano. Nano units of surviving. We're all living alone. This loneliness is the new pandemic. People are not able to sleep. People are not able to talk to each other. There's nobody around. We are utterly lonely. That's the new pandemic. And Patanjali and Buddha talked about Maitri. So let me tell you what really happened. In our mad rush for ambition to become somebody, Atul said, beautiful quote of Osho, Just be, don't become. But we were injected with the virus of becoming somebody. The pressures of the society and trying to make big. We want to achieve the biggest name, the biggest career, the biggest wealth, the biggest fame. And in that process, we started cutting ourselves out from everybody around. We first cut down our friends. The first thing we cut, which became the victim of our unsatiable ambition and greed, was the friendship. Then we cut our families, our grandparents and our parents, and slowly we all became alone. Let me remind you, or ask you. You may answer these questions that I'm going to ask you in your heart, in your mana. Who was the person who saved you from when somebody was trying to hit you when you were in school? That was a dear friend who came to rescue you. When you forgot the question in the examination hall in the school, who came and silently whispered something in your ear so that you also get good marks? It was a dear friend. Your cycle broke down on the way. You fell from the bicycle. Who came and lifted you? That was a friend. You never wanted to go back home from the playground, no matter how much your mother and father and elders called you. You were in the bliss in the playground. Whom were you sharing this bliss? Those were dear friends. Then you fell in love in school or college. Then you had your first heartbreak. You did not become depressed. You did not go to the psychiatrist or the therapist. Who came and rescued you in those moments of deep agony, of heartbreak? Those were friends who came, patted on your back and said, "No problem, buddy. Let's move." Yeah, those were all your dear friends. Where are they now? If I ask you some of your memories, the closest beautiful memories in your heart, what are those memories? You will go back to some childhood adventure, some shararat that you did. Some friends taught you how to jump the wall of the school. Some friends taught you how to pluck the fruits of Padosi's tree and run away fast. All shararats. They taught you the swear words, which we call gali. You enjoyed the process. You enjoyed the process thoroughly. You went on some amazing adventures. Those adventures are still alive in your heart. Kinke saath kiye the ye adventure? Those were your close friends. Even to the extent that you chose to join a particular stream. Was it arts or science or commerce? Or you decided to do an engineering? You know why? Because your friend went to that particular stream. And you said, everybody, I also want to join that stream, because your friends are all there. Your career decision was not a great thoughtful decision. It was just because all your friends were joining that college. You also wanted to join that college because as a child, you were not corrupted. You knew intuitively, by some cosmic grace, the value of sacred friendship. I'm adding the word sacred in front of friendship. To you, these were sacred friendships. You decided that you will live with those friends for the rest of your life. You were deeply in bond with each other. You never felt depressed. In fact, I can assure you, you first time learned this word called depression or stress or anxiety just about 25 years ago. Since the time you really grew up, You became successful career people or business people. That's when you started understanding or hearing these words called anxiety, stress, depression. Before that, they were not there. That era, students never committed suicide. This era, we are seeing that. Why? Why we are hearing this now? Because we've cut these friends from our life. I'm asking you, where are these friends today who were your support system? I'm using the word support system. That was your support system. That was your healing system. That was your mentoring system. That was your nurturing system. That system made you alive. Every moment you felt alive. You had utmost confidence. You knew you can achieve anything. You can scale any mountain because you had the support of these friends. Where is that ecosystem today? Where are those friends today? You don't even know.